Good afternoon and welcome to another beautiful Monday afternoon. Today's quote comes from Nora Ephron, who said, "Above all, be the heroine of your own life, not the victim." It applies equally to men. Far too many people today are playing the victim and relishing in playing the victim as opposed to being the hero of their own life. And that's just wrong on a whole bunch of different levels. It just really is. When I play the victim, it means that, quote, nothing is ever my fault. I have no responsibility. I'm like a 3-year-old child, which coincidentally is really how most of our governments want to treat us these days, which is really rather offensive. But when I'm the hero of my own life, there are a number of things that come into play. First and foremost of which is personal responsibility. I am accountable for the actions I take, for the decisions I make every single day, all day. And that's probably why so many people want to play the victim as opposed to the hero of their own life, because personal responsibility can be a real pain in the butt. You know, taking responsibility, owning our crap, owning the decisions that we make, and the good things that come out of that and the bad, takes a certain level of character. And if one doesn't possess that certain level of character, playing the victim is simply the automatic default role. My question for you today is, if you find yourself making excuses for why something went wrong, if you find yourself saying, oh, it's not my fault, I'm going to ask you one simple but probably very difficult question. Did you have a role to play in whatever that outcome was? If the answer is yes, then you bear responsibility for that outcome. That's challenging. I get that. I totally get that. But if we're going to become the heroes of our own life, the very first thing we have to do is step up, man up, and own every single decision we make throughout the entire day and all of the actions we take as a result of those decisions. It's really, really simple. But simple, as I often say, simple isn't always easy. It's way easier to go, you know what, I don't want to do this, so I'm going to make some excuse. It's a lot easier to say, well, that wasn't my fault because, Joe didn't do his part. Well, part of personal responsibility is making sure that you hold others accountable as well. Part of being the hero of your own life is really making sure that you hold the people around you accountable for themselves, for their decisions, and for their actions. And when you do that, when you surround yourself with people who are willing to accept that responsibility, your life changes in some really, really dramatic ways. Really dramatic ways. So my challenge to you today is, every time you find yourself making an excuse, write it down. Every time you find yourself saying, it's not my fault, write it down. And then examine, and writing it down is the easy part. The hard part's next. The hard part is to actually examine yourself and your thoughts and see how you arrived at that abdication of your own personal responsibility. And then, this is the easy part, another easy part, I want you to make the decision you're going to do it differently next time. And then hold yourself accountable for doing it differently next time. Simple, not necessarily easy. But it's only by taking responsibility for our decisions and our actions that we can actually truly be people of character. That's the only way we can actually become a human being who's willing to live in gratitude, love, joy, compassion, and courage. Because this takes courage. It really does. But like everything else in life, the more you do it, the easier it gets. So if you grab onto your courage and you make that courageous decision today, it'll be a little bit easier tomorrow, and a little bit easier the day after that, and a little bit easier the day after that. And pretty soon you find it second nature, which is exactly what you want it to become. It's exactly how you want it to be. So that's my challenge for you today. I highly encourage you to take me up on that and see if you can prove me wrong. See if you can find some way of making sure that, how do I phrase this? See if you can find some other way of improving your life other than taking responsibility for your thoughts and for your actions. Because I don't believe there is one. I really don't. But if you can prove me wrong, let me know in the comments, all right? Have a fantastic rest of your Monday afternoon, and I will talk to you again tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Bye-bye.